Hello and welcome to GT Sports Minutes. Now you join me tonight as we are going to be looking not at the daily races, which is what I would normally be doing, but you join me as we look at a replay, and it's a replay here at Spa. Now I wanted to share this because, well, I was quite proud of this. I'll be honest with you, I was quite proud. I start in third place. You can see me there in the Mustang, still testing this car out for the future championship we got going on here at GTSM. And I thought I'll give it a go at Spa, see how we get on. Now I've done well in this car at Spa before, and I thought, let's see if I can do it. Now we're going to start off in third, as you can see, get a decent launch, but not as good as the guy behind me, who looks like he's going to come straight down the side, but just got the legs on that BMW as we come into turn one. Now turn one here at Spa can always trick you up, and luckily for me I get through, but you look behind and there's a fair bit of carnage going on, so not a great start for some, but not a bad start for us actually. Now the guy in first as we're coming through Eau Rouge was very quick. He was the quickest in practice, he was the quickest in qualifying, started on pole, but you can just see the speed of this Mustang coming down this straight. Now the Kemmel straight, the AMG in front it's not slow at all, and then using the slipstream you can see just how quickly that Mustang really is as we're going to go past through turns 7 and 8, taking the lead as someone goes flying off behind us, and we're going to see if we can settle in. Now there's a strange noise going over that curb. I don't know if you heard it. It tickled me when it happened. I wasn't quite sure what was going on, but we're going to lose out the position here to the guy in now first with a fantastic move. I saw that coming whilst I was racing, and I thought there's no way he's going to stop that car and make that turn. He's going off, so I'll just brake and let him come through. And he managed to do it. I don't know how he got around that corner without sliding off, but props to him. He really did well there. Now it's a 4-lap race, so not an awful lot of time to basically make up any mistakes. And that is the reason I wanted to show you this video. As you can see now, coming round turn 14 there, coming into turn 15, things are about to go pear-shaped for myself as we're going to run a little bit onto the curb too much, and there we go. Yep, that's right, banging off into the barriers, coming back across and ended up in the gravel trap, going from second down to 6th. Yep, second to 6th. I lost, 5 positions in one corner. That's how brutal this track can be to you. But not all is lost. As I said, 4 laps, not a lot of time, but possibly one of my greatest comebacks I've done. So please drop us a comment, let us know where you think I finish up. Now at this point, I know you can't see the split times there on the left because this is a replay, and unfortunately they don't put the times, which is a bit of a shame. I can't see why they can't do that, but that's here nor there. There isn't any split times, but after that spin I was actually 15 seconds behind the guy in first place. Now 15 seconds is an eternity on a track, and I was looking at it thinking, well, as long as I don't come last, as long as I stay ahead of the guy behind me, at least I haven't come last. It's still an experience. But then, as we come through Eau Rouge, they're really flirting with the track limits there. I can see ahead on the map, there's just a little cluster of cars. Now that works out really well for us, simply because clusters can't go quickly. You can't. You've got to defend. You've got to, everything gets changed when you're driving in a cluster. When you've got open road like myself, you don't have the draft of the car ahead. But it also means you don't have traffic, so you can just really get the pedal to the metal and you can start closing that gap. And as you can see now, we're going to come around turn 10 and 11 here. Sorry, this is turn 11 now. The group ahead of us are actually in sight. Now, they weren't in sight after the spin, so I've closed the gap down here, and I think it was 15 seconds I was at, and at this point I was about 11 seconds. So it actually took 4 seconds off the leader at this point throughout the course of that one lap. Now it's important to say, or at least I think it's important to say, now even though it is only 4 laps, tyre were and fuel consumption wasn't. Now the fuel wasn't an issue. We had absolutely tons of fuel. The only thing that's going to happen is we're going to start losing weight, because the more fuel you burn, the lighter your car is, which means you can go quicker, which is great. That's what you want. However, you guessed it, tyre wear, big killer. Now I've already had one off, which means my tyres are going to be slightly more worn than they should be at this point. But you can see I am catching now the guy in fifth. I've got this gap down to about 5 seconds to the guy in first. That's right, 10 seconds I took off the leaders, all because they're in a cluster and I'm not. Now, like I said, my tyres are a little bit more worn than they should be at this point, but not to the point where I can't catch up. Now I'm looking ahead and I'm thinking I can get fifth. All I've got to do is not mess up this first turn, as the guy in fifth locks up a little bit there, runs a little bit wide and brings me right back into the race here to basically jump him. So I can go from 6th to 5th here. I'm in his slipstream, coming through Eau Rouge, which is a fantastic part of the track, onto the Kemmel Straight. And if I do this properly, as I'm trying to do, as not go off track limits, I'm going to use his slipstream, and that's what I've done here. And I'm going to give him a little bit of a boost, because I speed him up from doing that, and in the process of me speeding him up, I speed up through the slipstream. Now he's going to bail out to the left here and let me come down the right side, but then he's going to come straight back across the front. I saw that coming, braked, and look, I didn't hit him there, but I did miss my braking zone, so I went a little bit deep, but he went obviously far too deep and went off. But I'm just glad I didn't hit him, because then that would have just been, I'd have felt bad knocking him off track, and I would have given the position back, but then it would have given me a penalty, and I've already had to fight my way back to this point over the last lap, so I didn't want any penalties. But as you can see now, coming through turn 11, the cluster is getting closer. Now, the guys ahead, there's 4th, 3rd and 2nd, all basically very close to one another. The guy in first, and there's been a change actually to who is in first place, but the guy in first got a little bit of a gap, and then 2nd, 3rd, 4th are further close. So all I've got to do now is catch up and see if I can climb the table a little bit more than being all the way down. And it looks like I'm going to get given a gift. There we go. Get given a place, as we just about avoid a collision with the guy who spun off, and that will promote us up into 4th place. Now again, my tyres, you can see them there. Good chunk of red showing on the fronts. Not ideal. Now luckily it's a rear wheel drive car, so all the drive's coming from the back, so I can get the power down, but the fronts are what help you grip. So I've got to just ease off a little bit through some of these corners. As you can see there, I can't go full throttle because I will just go wide, get a penalty, and I don't want that. So here we go, coming down to a very, very difficult part of the track. The last two turns, turn 19 and 20. Getting these right is, you need to get these right. So if you don't get them right, you are going to spin, and that's just going to ruin your race. Final lap. This is the final lap. I've gone from 6th up to 4th, and I can taste the podium. I can taste it. It's right there, and I've just got to get in the slipstream of this guy, and I'm sure I can take him on Kemmel Straight. That BMW is not very quick in a straight line. This Mustang is very quick in a straight line, so I know I can take him. Now, as you can see though, I lifted quite a lot, simply because 1, my tyres are very warm, and 2, I didn't want to risk going off. And in so doing, I think I made the right call. I'm up into 3rd place. I'm now on the podium. From 15 seconds down, I'm now on the podium on the last lap. And all I have to do is not mess up. That's all I've got to do, not mess up, and I've got a podium. Did you drop a comment letting me know where you think I was going to finish? Was it a podium? And if so, where on the podium? The race isn't over yet, but let's face it, there's a big gap, so who knows. Now, the guy in 2nd there, as you can see, got a penalty. He just slowed down to serve it, but that's going to bring him back into my grasps. Can I get him down this portion of the track, coming out of turn 11 down to what I think is probably the hardest part, turn 12, and he's just going to pull over. I don't understand what happens there. During the race, I didn't get it. He pulled over and the brake lights came on and he let me go past. Why? I'm not sure. Please, again, drop us a comment. Let me know why you think he did that. But you know what? I don't mind. I'm going to take that all day long. We're now in 2nd place. From 6th into 2nd over the course of the 4 laps, from being 15 seconds back. Now, the gap between myself now and the guy in 1st was about 5 seconds at this point. He was pulling away a little bit. My tyres really going off now. As you can see, good chunk of red showing. I couldn't quite keep up with the guy in first, but I think coming from 6th to 2nd, for me personally, probably one of my best comebacks. A lot of people would have rage quit. Don't get me wrong, I thought about it. I'd spun out and I was like, oh, what's the point? But I thought I'm going to stick it out, and I'm so happy that I did. Coming through turns 19 and 20, they're the hardest chicane possibly on the game here at Spa, and I'm going to take a 2nd place. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe that I came home in 2nd. Now, again, the guy in 3rd slowed down and let me pass. Not quite sure why. And I was very intrigued. I was very intrigued as to why he did that. And also, as you can see, again, a fastest lap, which is always a nice little bonus. I always try for that because it's just something you can go, oh, look, I got fastest lap. Anyway, so this is the guy who was in 1st when we spun out. And as you can see, he's slowing down. He's slowing down going down the Kemmel Straight, which is just a killer. You don't want to slow down there. Why? Why is he slowing down? I can't work out what's going on. Now, is he letting them past so it's more of a challenge? Is that how he's viewed it? He can let them go and then he's got something to work for? Or is he maybe racing with one of these? Is he a friend and he's trying to boost confidence? I don't know. Please let me know what you think. I've never witnessed this before. I've never seen someone intentionally slow down to then not do something back. Like, I've been in a race, which I've done a video about. You can please watch the video because it was unbelievable. I'll talk to you about that in a second. Here's me. He's going to slow down here. Look, the brake lights come on. Lets me come past. And then he just carries on. I wasn't expecting that. I was kind of expecting to happen what happened in the other video, which was I came past and someone tried to ram me off. But no, this guy confused me a couple of times. Not sure why I did it. Please let me know what you think. Please check out the other video as well. Anyway, so that's our race there at Spa. Probably my best comeback. Very much enjoyed it. So I hope you all enjoyed watching it. And from all of us here at GTSM, we'll see you all next time.